What's up, guys? So today is a big day. It's a big day because it's going to be the first time I time myself doing a 1 mile run. Now, I know a lot of you thinking 1 mile is not that long, but listen to me. When you weigh in at 290 pounds like I just did this morning, running 1 mile, it is hard. But I'm up for the challenge. I just retired from the NFL, and my playing weight during that time was around 315 pounds, and I've been able to lose 25 pounds thus far, which is getting me closer to my goal of weighing 250 pounds. But running is something I never really did. Like when you're playing football, the most you sprint as a defensive lineman or offensive lineman is 10 yards, and then you go back to the huddle and you start to play over. So to run a mile is going to be tough. But like I said, I'm up for the challenge. I think I can get it right now at 290 pounds. I can get anywhere between 8 to 9.5 minute mile, right? But my ultimate goal is to one day have a sub 6 mile run. But I got to start from somewhere. So today I'm just looking to get a baseline, go out there, push myself, see how fast I can get this done, have a baseline, and see how much work I have to put in order to get to that 6 mile run. So I'm about to finish up this pre-workout that me and my partner actually made together that I've been testing out on myself for the past couple of weeks. But I'm about to finish this off, and I'll see y'all at the track. All right, so we're here at the track. As you can see, I got the sweat going, got the blood pumping, my heart rate up. Time to see what I can get this 1 mile in. Let's get it. What's up, y'all? Thanks for tuning into this video. Although running a 7-minute mile is pretty good, it isn't that long. Sitting in front of your computer screen watching somebody run for 7 minutes can be pretty long. So what I decided to do was to make this video where I'm actually watching myself run my mile with you guys, so I can share some of my health and wellness journey and some tricks on how I was able to finish this mile within 7 minutes. As I told you earlier in the video, my playing weight when I was in the NFL was around 315 pounds, which was very beneficial, especially when you have 2 men on most plays trying to blow you into next week. You need to have that much weight in order to really plant yourself into the ground. But having a everyday normal life where I'm not playing in the NFL, this weight is definitely not beneficial. It comes with a lot of pain on my joints. I've suffered a lot of injuries throughout my playing career. Just to name a few, I've broke my leg 2 times. I've blown out my knee. I tore my ACL, MCL. I've broke my toe. I've had a Liz Frank fracture. I've had back surgery. I've had a lot of things go wrong. So carrying around this weight isn't really beneficial. And my hopes is when I get down to 250 pounds, it'll really alleviate a lot of that joint pain that I feel in my body. And especially with the diet that I've been on now and the type of supplements that me and my partner have been making, have been really focused on making sure that I get the right vitamins every day. It's focused on joint health and protein, things of that nature. So right here is my first time really testing out hitting the track and running for a mile. Like I said earlier in the beginning of the video, running long distance is not something I'm used to doing. As a defensive lineman, all of our running was short, maximum 10 yards when we're running after a play and then it stops. But to have to run continuously for a mile, it was pretty tough. But something I did to really help myself run this mile was I did something called a dynamic warm-up. A lot of you may be familiar with static warm-up, where you just stand in place and maybe you touch your toes for 10 seconds or you do other exercises that are similar to that one. But with the dynamic warm-up, you're actually moving while you're stretching. And I was introduced to this during my college days at Penn State, with our strength and conditioning coach stopped us from doing static warm-ups and started to make us do dynamic warm-ups because it was beneficial as far as getting your heart rate up, getting you sweating before you start that physical activity so that you feel better once you're starting. And I felt this right off the bat, just being able to finish my first mile in 1 minute and 30 seconds, which was pretty good. And it's because sometimes when you run, I know I experienced this a lot, that if you don't warm up properly, you don't get your heart rate up, it's hard to breathe in the beginning, right? You take off running and then you can't even control your breath. You start having shortness of breath, and then you end up walking earlier than you initially planned on walking. But doing this dynamic warm-up allowed me to finish that first lap pretty strong. Of course, I was not able to keep that minute and 30 paced up for the other laps, but you know, I was pretty proud of myself finishing that strong on the first lap. Throughout this whole mile, there were a lot of times where I thought to myself, you know, just to stop, to start walking. But I really pushed myself. Like I said, I wanted to really set a baseline for myself to see where I was at physically and see what I needed to work on. And you know, I've been playing sports since I was 13 years old. Little background, I was All-American in high school. I was All-American in college, Defensive Player of the Year in college, and I was drafted 53rd overall and played 4 years in the NFL. And during that time, I've been able to really develop a resilient mindset. I've been able to, you know, develop a mindset where we call it, you just run through the wall. You run through that brick wall when your body is telling you to shut down, which my body was definitely telling me. I controlled it mentally, right? Because I understand that I have control over my body. It doesn't have control over me. So what I did was I just made sure that I focused on taking the next step. Right? I wasn't focused on getting to the finish line. I was just focusing on taking one more step, because I knew as long as I put one foot in front of the other, eventually I would reach that finish line, right? And I would complete that mile. But for those of you who are watching this, who are probably just now starting off running, listen, you don't have to run through the wall right now. This is going to be a journey. This is going to take time to build up, you know, to reach your goal. So if you feel like you have to walk while you're running, allow yourself to walk, right? If you really feel like you need to walk, your body feel like it's shutting down, go ahead and allow yourself to walk, because as we grow together, I'm going to teach you all the tools that you need to have in order to develop that mindset where you can run through the wall. But right now, I just want you to get out there and just try running, right? Try to get back to physical activity. You know, a lot of times people ask me, why do you continue to do this? Why do you continue to work out daily and you're no longer playing sports? And a lot of that is because I want to continue to, you know, have good health and wellness, both mentally and physically. And one of the most potent lifestyle changes anybody can make in their life in order to promote well-being in their life is exercise, because it not only helps you physically, but it also helps you mentally, as it promotes good brain health. So just get out there and move your body. You don't have to start out there and you know, start with running a mile like I did. You could run a quarter of a mile, half a mile. You could run 20 yards, you know, whatever the case may be. Just go out there and run. As you can see in that video right there, that part of the video, I was trying to tell myself to come on, because my body was really telling me to shut down. And you know, honestly, when I before I started this run, I told myself, when I get to that last lap, I'm going to sprint. And I was telling myself to sprint, but my body was like, no, shut down. So I just found a happy medium where I continued to run without walking. But right now I'm on the last stretch of this mile. I'm gonna stop talking and let y'all finish watching it. But thanks for tuning in, and continue to tune into these videos, because I'm gonna take y'all along my fitness journey of getting down to 250 pounds, and hopefully I can help you along your fitness journeys as well.